my phone is dumb. You're like, no, I am dumb.
I don't use my phone.
Why not both?
I mean, both could be fair.
Yeah. Be nicer to yourself.
No.
You're not just dumb.
The phone is too.
Yeah. You're just as smart as that phone in your hand.
Oh, no. Look, I need to be a little bit mean to myself just to keep myself in check. Because, like, I already have to deal with the fact that God nerfed me with the autoimmune disorder.
Lamau.
I don't need to be more disabled.
Lamau.
I'm good. Don't need to tempt fate like that. I'm so good.
Yeah. Speaking of tempting fate, hi and welcome to Blank Bodies, a Vampire the Masquerade V5 tabletop and horror podcast, and this month, a Hunter podcast.
Banana.
Also, my name is Hunter, unrelatedly.
It just synced like that.
I mean, it's kind of relatedly because you're writing the episodes.
That's true.
So it is a Hunter month in that Hunter is writing the episodes, and a Hunter month because we are talking about Hunter.
This is
The Reckoning.
This is
Yeah.
very conceptually a multifaceted and complex show.
We're getting kind of meta with
It's
it.
we done been meta, but this is getting like we're getting into
gonna be
levels of
getting
meta where it's like going to become core at this rate.
Here pretty soon we're going to be having large choruses of horns every so often.
We haven't gotten to mage yet.
Yeah, we also haven't gotten to the podcast point where someone gets bored and becomes a DJ and then starts mixing their DJ sets into the release schedule for some reason.
Oh God!
Oh boy.
If anybody does decide to DJ and use sound bits of us randomly, I'm gonna laugh so
Yeah,
hard.
please let us know though.
Yeah, that would be dope as shit. So Hunter, what are we doing for Hunter Month?
So for Hunter Month, we're talking about Hunter.
That is so
Hell
descriptive.
yeah! Wait,
Yeah.
are we talking about Hunter like you, or are we talking about Hunter like the new, the new World of Darkness setting?
Mostly the second one. Mostly
Okay.
we'll be talking about Hunter the Reckoning V5, which
H5.
oh yeah, H5. It's weird.
We talk about vampire a lot, so
Yeah.
meh.
Yeah, but H5, yeah. Also, version 5 was what my brain thought. But it is H5, you're right. 5th edition. We talked about this last time. It's technically not the 5th edition of Hunter, but that's neither here nor there. It just released with the 5th version of World of Darkness, we'll call it.
Yeah, I think we've kind of collectively agreed that everything that's part of this edition for printing of World of Darkness is just being called acronym 5, just to keep everything kind of cohesive.
Yeah, and I think that's fair
Yeah.
and balanced. But yeah, so I went and I put up a poll for for our patrons. And in that poll, I was like, hey, let me know what you want to hear about for Hunter. Today's episode, we're going to talk about the orgs within Hunter the Reckoning. The other episodes, I'm reordering them a little bit. So we're doing orgs first. There's also going to be an episode on how these new expansion books reshape Hunter the Reckoning, because I think they add a lot, and they definitely kind of flesh out what I thought was a bit of a thin core book.
Oh, she chonky now?
There's a lot of really good stuff in some of these books. Then we're also going to do an episode where I just like give a straight up review of these 3 books, what's in them, what's if you're looking for certain things, which ones to go for first.
Yes.
And then the last book is taking all this information and how it ties into the rest of 5th edition. So vampire and werewolf right now. And maybe other stuff is hinted at.
Oh.
We'll see.
What kind of other stuff? Wait, don't spoil it for me.
We'll get into it.
You're going to have to wait 3 fucking weeks, buddy.
Oh my fucking gosh.
The anticipation is building.
I can't even stand it.
So for our listeners that for some reason decided to listen to us through YouTube, one, I'm sorry I had to upload half of our catalog onto YouTube. We got fucked really hard.
Yeah, the auto uploader was broke.
Yeah, I didn't realize how bad. So we're caught up now, and all of the Hunter Month episodes will be going on to the Hunter playlist. So if you want to get into Hunter the Reckoning and you like our sultry voices, we have a catalog that's just that.
Yay.
Huzzah! John, what are you doing?
Reach into my pocket.
I thought those were keys, but that is just a large pile of USB thumb
Large
drives.
pile is 2.
I feel like this is very befitting for a Hunter the Reckoning episode, because it's just a pile of USB drives and then
A receipt.
a crumpled receipt, and then 2 vapes?
A Goodwill receipt. Whatever it was wares, and it was black. And there's another one that was wares, and it was yellow.
Fantastic. So, orgs. correct?
Yeah. All right. Yes, orgs. So we're talking about orgs today.
Yes.
So before we get into that, a little bit of content warning. Basically just your basic horror and whatever comes out of my mouth and their mouth on the reg. So if you've listened to the show before, you know what to expect.
Yeah.
There's nothing specifically horrifying about this episode, except maybe some capitalism talk. Businesses.
Yeah.
Orgs tend to be businesses, but they're not all businesses.
Yeah, the horror tends to be the trials and tribulations of capitalism. Cool, we don't have to talk about genocide again. Fantastic.
Neato. And our sources today is Apostates, one of the new Hunter the Reckoning books, and also a little bit from the core book. Not a whole lot, because we covered that already, but...
The Apostates book?
The Apostates book.
Oh.
That's the main source. Anyway, so let's do a quick refresher. What are orgs?
Mm-hmm.
Because this gets a little messy. There's a lot of words that overlap here. So orgs are short for organizations that pursue the supernatural, but they are not made up of the heroes or hunters that players take control of in Hunter the Reckoning. So you could, if you're a member of this organization, your job could be to stalk and pursue werewolves, for example, but you're not necessarily a hunter. Hunters have a drive, but most people at organizations do not. And a drive is what motivates you to hunt the supernatural beyond like a level of self-defense or it's my job.
So I guess the best way to make this make any modicum of fucking sense, because it's taking me forever to get this to click in my brain, is the difference in somebody who works at an org and then a Hunter the Reckoning player character is... A Hunter the Reckoning player character would be like Hellboy and Abe Sapien, and the fact that they're like fighting against like monsters and stuff like that. And then the org is like rando guy in the BPRD.
Maybe. I would say that, so like a hunter would do this regardless if the org existed or not.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like a security guard. That's their job. There's a good chance they wouldn't defend Walmart with their life if they weren't on the clock. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas a hunter, there's something that would motivate them to hunt the monster known as Walmart, even if they aren't getting paid.
Yeah, well, at least in terms of like my example, like Hellboy is a character, he has a motivation to constantly be fighting various kinds of monsters because the prophecy that's tied for him, where they're like, you're going to be... You need to step up with the right hand of doom and fulfill your fate and destiny and rule over the earth as a hell realm. And he's like, nah, I ain't gonna do that.
I'd rather not.
It's too much work.
Yeah, it's just, well, no, it's just like, no, fuck that. No, I don't want to be a dick.
I suppose I could see that.
Yeah, where it's like he's fighting bad guys because he like wants to protect humanity, and Hellboy does that even when he quits the BPRD for portions of storylines. But there's guys in the PPRD that are just like, I'm government Goomba man.
Yeah. So,
I have always seen it more like, you've got the like hobbyist or the trying to figure out. Wait. Anyway, the hunter is more like Mr. Crocker from Fairly Odd Parents.
Yes. Okay.
Their entire life is built around like finding these things and eliminating them.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Where an org person would just be another teacher in the school.
Yeah. That works.
Oh, shit! I just had another one. Damn it! My brain deleted it. I hate this. Fuck. X-Files.
Yeah.
Mulder and Scully would be hunters.
Yeah.
And then there's just everybody else in the FBI.
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. That also doesn't mean that someone working at an org can have an awakening or something that ignites their drive.
I hate that they use the phrase awakening.
I use the word awakening.
Oh, okay.
They actually use the word ignite, but...
Okay, that's better, because I was like, guys, we can't be calling it an awakening. It's going to get the mage people
real
excited.
Confused.
Well, maybe not. We'll talk about that in an upcoming episode.
Okay.
There's a lot going on in this book that there's literally stuff that I'm going to just say, we'll come back to that.
Okay. Cool.
So, but yeah. So all hunters pursue the supernatural, but not all who pursue the supernatural are hunters. Yeah. So, orgs are generally companies, and they have a bottom line to keep in mind. If not, they have their own agenda of some sort. They don't stalk monsters out of the pure goodness of their heart. they always have some sort of alternative agenda.
See, look, the Elon Musk brain chips don't work on the monkeys. We need something more powerful, so we have to go catch all of these guru because they can withstand the brain chips.
Pretty much that
kind of thing.
that is on par for the ones we're going to talk about today.
I hate that. Oh no.
So we talked about this, I believe, in the previous episode. But I would say there's basically 4 types of orgs. There's corporate, there's businesses, there's religious, there are academic. Excuse me, I had to burp. And then there are it's just true. I'm just being honest and open, Sarah. Don't give me that look.
I was just snickering and trying to not make a noise.
Okay. There's 5. There's also government.
Okay.
And vigilante.
All right, so we have government, vigilante, religious, corporate, and academic?
Yes.
Okay.
So those are the 5 main types that they go into. But so like I said, we're pulling from apostates. We talked a little bit about the orgs last Hunter month. But we're diving more into the ones in this book because specifically they give us a lot more information.
Sick.
So Apostates itself offers deep dives into 5 orgs, includes 8 lore sheets, and longer write-ups for those new orgs. There are also, I believe, 8 new ones. There are a lot of new ones. 6. There are 6 completely brand new orgs that are not in the core book.
Ooh, okay.
So
there's 5 they give more details on, and then 6 completely new ones, and then the lore sheets.
Yeah, there's also a chart in the very beginning of the book that lists all the orgs, and it lists the books where you can get more information on them.
My god, a reference chart that actually has citations?
Cool.
We will talk about this in a future episode this month where I talk about how you can use these books for other splats. But it openly states that there are information in some of these books in werewolf and vampire books, and it specifically lists like you can go to the Second Inquisition book, you can go to the werewolf core book, you can go to blood sigils, you can go here or there.
I appreciate that because I spent some time over this year talking with folks in the community about one of the things I'm really enjoying about this kind of 5th edition rehaul for WoD is it's a lot better at allowing you to take books from resources in one splat and then transfer it over into a different splat. So you're getting a lot more utility out of the money you're sinking into your books now.
Yeah. It's also, I'd say, the most balanced so far.
Sure.
Like if I had a player who'd not played, it wasn't their very first time ever playing World of Darkness 5th edition, but they're like, could I do a werewolf in this vampire game? I'd be like, you know what, let's try it. I would be open to letting someone try that out. Like I'd have to do a little bit of extra work, but it's not like old editions where it's like, okay, well, you're just going to tank everything.
You're going to tank everything, so I have to give all my players, like, so much extra XP just to buff them out.
Yeah, there's a little bit less of that. I haven't experimented with as much, but I think it would work better than it has previously.
Sick.
Also, they have the similar systems of, like, the hunger and the anger and all that, so... But that we're getting a little off topic here. Because we're talking about orgs. Let's hop into our first one. I will say, this book specifically has information in 5 orgs. We're going to talk about 2 of them today. I put some to the side. So today we are not jumping into ones that I think tie more into the larger World of Darkness. I wanted to just go with the more Hunter the Reckoning focused ones.
Oh, yeah, no, that's
the more unique ones. And we will come back to talking about them in a later episode because there is an entire chapter on the Arcanum, an entire chapter on the Special Affairs Division.
Ayo!
There's an entire chapter on the Society of St. Leopold.
Yes!
So there's a lot in this book.
I don't like the Society of St. Leopold. Don't trust it.
Oh, no, it's fucked up, but...
They're cool.
Now... I was going to say, Hunter, at some point, I want to run a Hunter game where it's Society of St. Leopold, but I secretly just want it to be, this is what's going in the background of Fleabag. Tell no one. Go on, anyways.
Yeah. So we are talking today. We're looking at Monster Hunter X and Revenge, and I think they're specifically Venge.
What weird 2000s Y2K edgy bullshit is that? Venge. What? We'll let you explain.
Yeah,
we'll let you explain.
We're talking about Monster X.
We're gonna go to Monster X, which I know is very no.
Yeah, they're both very specific types of horror that are And I like them because they're new and they feel the most modern. Which is also why I'm glad they kind of dug into them. But the first one is Monster X. So Monster X is a startup that was founded by Casper Chin in Norway as a self-defense company. It was then bought up by speculative market master Evelyn Birdries, and Monster X has turned into cutting-edge self-defense tools and turned that into a monster removal service.
This sounds like Raytheon with extra steps. Am I wrong?
No.
Doesn't
No.
sound.
Oh.
Sounds pretty right.
It's gonna.
I hate that. Do they also have knife missiles?
Not specifically noted. So I would say no. They seem more interested in field tech.
Okay.
So it's more on the ground. They're not launching missiles at werewolves cross country. It's more on the ground kind of combat.
Yeah, okay. I mean, that's still not great.
No, it's not.
But most of its employees are former police or military who've been scooped up after an encounter with the supernatural. And by most of their employees, I mean most of their field operatives.
Field officers? Okay.
Yeah, they also have whole divisions. It's a big company. They have giant research division. They have like fucking payroll people. They have everyday desk jockeys, people who are just like sifting through all the data they collect and moving it around.
God.
Like
I'm just thinking of the amount of friends that we have that have a chemistry or engineering background that they're like, yeah, I got into this field because I really wanted to like help people with cool science things, and then the only jobs that we're paying were like Raytheon and Lockheed Martin or like other shell companies that are like, yeah, you can come work for NASA, wink.
yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, this is a track where they could have ended up. Oh no.
Yeah. So, and what's important to note about these employees, though, is that Monster X makes just as much money off of its employees as it does its customers.
Oh, no.
Selling them questionable training courses and offering many franchise opportunities.
Hunter, so you're telling me, unironically, I could, with the Hunter the Reckoning 5th edition as it is right now, I could unironically, as your storyteller, have my players watch Surviving Edged Weapons and it be canon.
Kind of, yeah.
Oh my god!
It'd probably have to be an updated version.
Well, yes.
But also, it's noted that they have a penchant for rebuying out all of the franchises that become, quote, too successful, and then shuttering them or just absorbing them right back into the company to take out their own competition.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Or if they get too much attention for being too successful, or
you know. Oh god, yeah, just a lot of just machinations through patents.
yes,
Ugh.
there's a lot of that going on. So they sell themselves as a monster removal service.
Like a pest removal service, essentially.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, would they publicly, because it seems like publicly they're selling themselves as like a weapons and trainings or like company.
Yeah.
So it'd be people
It's like
that
self-defense,
self-defense,
security maybe.
So they're doing like cold steel shit.
Cold Steel. What's the fuck is that mercenary magazine that like it's made fun of all the time? Guys who would get that kind of shit.
A Soldier of Fortune?
Yeah.
Guys
Yeah.
are really into Soldier of Fortune, that kind of shit.
Yeah, I mean, most of its employees are former police or military, at least the field
Yeah.
operative wise.
Yeah, so they'd be like, oh yeah, no, we have classes on, new tactics with field Krav Maga, drone defense.
Mhm.
Blah, 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 blah. We live in a dangerous world and need to update your security teams. And
Right.
And then people who are in the know can go into the special back room and be like, oh yeah, so by the way, I have all this stuff for the vampires and these fuck-ass nerds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And their layout is interesting. This is like the megacorp. So they have a big board of people, and it does go into details on all the individuals. I left that for the players to read in as much as they want to dig into all that.
Hell yeah.
It is interesting, but that can also be a little snooze-worthy, just going over corporate structure in an episode. So I kept that part a little slim.
Yeah.
It does note that they have a big board and then a large middle management class that basically has to try and interpret the vague instructions from above and then send it down to the guys at the bottom.
You know what? Honestly, though, considering the popularity of shows like Severance,
Yeah.
I feel like this could be a really good setting for if people wanted to get into like a horror game version of like Severance or other those kind of like
Yeah, that could be good.
corporate
Yeah, definitely. So on the surface, they're sold as like monster removal service, but their real focus is on research. While stopping the threats of the night brings in some money, the real payout in the data they collect, though their finances might not be that great anyway. That's in there if you want to read into that. But part of this data is bringing experimental tech into the field for testing. So when on assignment, operatives might be given special equipment that's just as exciting as it is stressful, especially when the aforementioned questionable training protocols come into play.
Oh, no.
So it's legit like, hey man, look at this awesome new gun we have. They're like, yeah, awesome. Like, how long have you had it? And they're like, this is the first one. Here you go.
Let us know.
It's like, oh yeah, we've been having it field tested.
You are the field test.
You are now the field test. They're not going to tell them that.
No.
Or they might. They literally might just be like, hey, try this out. Yeah. You're required. And it's like, all right, well, this is a pneumatic stake gun, and I am going after a werewolf. Yeah, try it out.
Mm-hmm. The stake's silver. You'll be fine.
It'll work.
Maybe. Who knows?
No, it'll
Listen,
work.
if you hit him in the heart, it won't matter.
Yeah.
So be a good shot.
Yeah. And it's like, why are you under this? We actually know this weapon would be good. We've tested it with other patients. It's like, no. I want to see what they do when they're extra stressed out. So I'm telling them that it's fucked. Just to see what happens.
They also like to bring in test subjects. Monster X has the best supernatural containment protocols out there. So much that even the government orgs want their hands on their tech and plans.
Oh, I hate that my brain immediately went to the new Superman movie with the pocket dimensions.
Haven't seen it, but...
Okay, Lex Luthor has pocket dimensions. That's normal.
Good for Baldy.
Yeah, I was just like, oh no, pocket dimensions.
But, what was I going to say here? Yeah, so, say a vampire friend of yours goes missing, might not be the Second Inquisition, might be in one of these guys' laboratories.
Nice.
Maybe you need to get some information out of a specific werewolf, but unfortunately, he's been caught.
Yeah.
And there's another problem. They aren't always the best at actually containing their test subjects to begin with. Operatives may be instructed to bring in the quarries of their hunt, even if they don't know what they're hunting yet.
Oh, good.
It might just be like, oh, here, we've been hired to go take care of this problem. Bring it back. And then you get there and it's like, it's a ghost, though. Like, how do I bring it back?
You didn't give me a ghost box, sir.
You gave me the stake gun again.
Fuck.
Give me the stake gun again.
And just sitting there, just sighs having. It's like, I don't want to go to the goddamn church and get a ghost box.
And they also talk about how, like, operatives will, like, try and not use the special equipment because they can hold on to it for later jobs when it's really needed, or they might get reimbursed for saving the company money by not using expensive tech.
We like using this hunter cell because they're always under budget.
Yeah, literally. You might get better or more jobs because of that.
Oh my god!
I love this.
God, sorry, just the terrible ST part of my brain is like, okay, guys, you finished the adventure. Cool. Give me an accounting of all the equipment you used. What? Give me an accounting of all the equipment you used.
Yeah, your team probably has people like that on it at some level. This is a company. Like, if you are a part of we'll call it a cell, even though it's not the cell, but you're part of a Monster X cell.
Yeah.
You probably do have an accounting person, a logistics person, someone to, like, send emails.
Because, like, as a storyteller, you could do the really fucking evil thing of, like, okay, you guys get the base, whatever the XP would be for doing the thing. And then if they give you a proper accounting and they're under budget, you can give them, like, extra resource dots or background dots. Yeah,
or you might give them a budget, be like, all right, you're going up against this. You have 2 dots worth of budget of resources.
Yeah.
You can use your own if you want. So if you like to do more, like, tactical planning and stuff, this could be a fun group to do it with.
Oh, yeah.
And that is something I want to point out. I forgot to put in there early in the script, but this book does everything that I asked for when I reviewed the core book, which is actually gives you rules for being a member and former member of an organization. So you can actually run your players in these groups now. They're not
That's
just
awesome.
Weird enemies. This is, they were good as enemies, but this book gives you the rules for being a member of those organizations, which is really cool. Which also means, coming up in a future episode, remember all those other orgs I mentioned in this book?
No.
Maybe it has rules for being a member of all of those. Anyway.
Don't worry about it.
So, you're tired of dealing with the budget bullshit. You hate dealing with middle management. Say you started your own franchise, had a couple successful hunts, and the company decided to buy you out of your contract. So how do you leave the org? It's actually pretty easy. You can give a 30 days notice. You might get fired. It's like any other job. It's literally a company.
Imagine.
There's not like I mean, I'm sure you have to like sign NDAs at least, right?
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
That's
no, I just think it's so funny that the party gets through an adventure. Like they survive the encounter, but because they're so massively over budget, I just fire them from Hunter X, and now they got a raw dog reality.
Yeah, exactly. That is literally a threat. Is you could get fired, but you still have a drive to hunt monsters.
That's so funny.
So now you gotta either figure it out yourself or get hired on with another company.
Well, that's where the problem comes in, as you pointed out. Don't forget when you signed on, you signed a ton of NDAs and non-competes. The contracts operatives, researchers, and desk jockeys alike all signed can keep them out of related fields for years as they extend past.
So what if like you do it as a hobby then? Can they stop you from doing it as a hobby?
If you're not making money, maybe.
I started a nonprofit.
It even specifically says that, like, maybe you're not doing it professionally, but that doesn't stop you from selling that ancient vampire's art collection after you take him out.
I mean...
Yeah.
Or it even specific, and if things get bad enough, you can sell that werewolf's pickup truck and cell phone.
Wild.
Yeah, so...
Wild.
But yeah, it could literally make you jobless if you leave, because say you signed a non-compete, but part of your job was doing data entry. Technically, you can't work another data entry job for 5 years, maybe.
That's nuts.
So
That's
time
coconuts.
to start a new career in a new field.
That's coconuts. Oh,
Wild.
Though... I guess you could call it a bright side. I don't know if I would. But with enough experience, rogue researchers from Monster X or franchises might try and grab up ex-operatives for under-the-table work.
Okay.
So you might have a researcher who's like, listen, I got some of the data from these guys. They're good. I want to research this, but they're not letting me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to hire these ex-hunters to go out and do work for me. They're not competing because they're working for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get the data and then use it to sell the idea I'm trying to sell the company.
Yeah. Also, the thing I'm working on has upset, like, this fucking vampire. Vampire shouldn't be a problem, but this is a problem.
Yeah.
So I just need some fucking goons.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
need some fucking goons.
Look, sometimes when you're doing a mad scientist run, you need some fucking goons.
I mean, it's true. I'm not gonna argue that
Yeah.
for sure.
Look, we need to bring back henchman culture into gaming.
Mm-hmm. And real life.
Man, see?
The gooners have really fucked up the term goon. They
Yeah.
really have. It's a
How
nightmare.
dare? How
Rude.
dare?
How dare they appropriate my culture?
My favorite meme I've seen in a while is it's a guy in like a mafia suit, and he's like, and then just a bunch of dudes standing in front of him jerking off, and it just says, I thought I hired goons.
Damn. I love the English language.
Mm-hmm.
All
Yeah.
that aside, though,
All of that aside, that honestly, that sounds like there's so much room for activities.
Yeah.
In that,
I like
hell yeah.
I like Monster X a lot. I have some questions. I'm gonna do that in the how this reshapes the Hunter.
Of
The
course.
Reckoning as a setting. So I'm trying to keep my out of this. But as a company, I think they're really cool. I think they're really interesting. I like the front as a self-defense company. And then...
Yeah, and plus, if you're somebody who's either a player or a storyteller who's wanting to explore these as like game or storylines, there's so much fucking information you can pull from real world sources as like inspo.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely.
John says with emphasis, which is concerning.
Emphasis on every syllable.
So what's this Venge?
So we have
Venge.
Venge. My sales pitch is, if Monster X is Apple, Revenge is Uber.
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
What?
Alright,
That is
so-
a hell of an analogy.
Yeah. So Revenge is the gig economy's answer to the supernatural.
Oh my
Oh
fucking
my
god.
fucking god.
Yeah.
Who
So-
let Peter Thiel get into monster hunting? The fuck?
So Revenge hires almost all contract workers. Few work for them are actually employees at all, let alone full-time.
You're just an independent contractor?
Yeah, and
Oh
it
my
actually
God.
there's some in the book that talks about statistics, and they say most people have at least one or two other jobs who work here. This is like a side gig for them.
Oh my god.
So you might be a grocery store cashier by day, monster hunter by night for extra cash.
Oh my god. I love and hate this, but continue on.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I'm the DJ at the local roller rink. I'm also a monster hunter at night.
Okay, the thing is, I would watch the fuck out of that movie.
That would be fucking dope, actually. That'd be
Yeah.
super good. Be a lot of fun.
All right, so this one was founded by Danny Brozer and Tim Dallitson. Revenge started after the two witnessed their friend Nick Morello being murdered by a werewolf. The two decided to make sure it didn't happen to anyone else, and so they crunched the data, built an app, and Revenge was born.
I hate these dorks already. Fucking hate these dorks.
Fuck you guys.
Just our best friend got murdered by an awoo.
Let's make an app.
Let's make an app about. Fuck off.
And,
I'm so mad.
I didn't put it in the script, but I did think it was darkly funny.
No, it's so funny.
No. In their headquarter office
Yeah.
that is mostly empty because they don't actually ever hire anyone.
Oh God, is it like
they have a giant portrait of their friend Nick on like the entrance wall?
Oh my God.
Just this
Like
some
an
fucking
in-memory
random
of.
dude. Oh, I love it.
I'm shocked they don't have them on a T-shirt that they just like sell as like part of the merch.
Right.
Oh my God. So they're very open about the whole. Our friend got murdered by a werewolf, so therefore we have this app.
To the people who actually work there. I don't think they're saying that to the public. That I will go ahead and say that's one thing I'm questioning reading some of this is like how public they are about some of this. It doesn't really draw a line from it. And from my understanding of the World of Darkness is most people don't admit or know that like the supernatural exists whatsoever. Like, so some of this does kind of blur the line like, yeah, but it's a fucking app where you hire them to hunt a ghost. Like,
Yeah, it's
I
like-
know there's real life ghost hunters and stuff.
Yeah, it's
but,
like, are these guys like? Is this company publicly traded?
I would assume so.
Yeah, because then it's like, okay, so what's the cover story of what the fuck this app does? Because if the app is like,
Even-
oh shit,
Even if just like getting revenge on like someone, it's
Yeah.
still illegal.
yeah, it's like that's a crime. It's like
That's a crime.
if the app is called Revenge, but it's like a gig app where it's like, hey, you can hire people to like
It's
fix your
definitely
plumbing and do like like mow your
Yeah.
lawn, like be a career. And then there's a secret side option in the app where you can hire people for monster hunting if you pay for the platinum version, get the code.
that's how I would offer it. But it doesn't say anything about the supernatural, but there is a handout / example like ad for Revenge in the book.
Cool.
So let me just read that real quick. I'm going
Yeah.
to quote this page 64 of the App Estates book. It's really simple, bold white text on black and then white on red for the smaller text. But revenge to order, make a difference, make people safer, on demand, put your skills to use and learn new things about yourself. Work as much or as little as you want. Make work for you. Be your own boss. Freedom in what you do and how you do it. Thrive with support from a passionate sales team and expert data analysts. Use the QR code to download our contractor app now.
Okay, that definitely sounds like an MLM.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which that's fine, but like, what the fuck does the company actually do?
See, if I were to run them, I would sell them more as like a what's a good like a security team,
Security, or
like a bodyguard.
or what if it's like a PI firm?
PI? Yeah, like private investigating security bodyguards.
Mhm.
See, I almost would sell it more as like a neighborhood watch app.
There is a separate group for that.
Oh, whoops.
There is
yeah,
a group
but
that is
not bad thinking.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, you could sell it that way too, though.
Yeah.
But as an app, where the other group is actually a neighborhood watch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because like,
I'm thinking almost like Nextdoor, I think is the one where
Yeah.
everybody gets on and starts.
yeah, but
Yeah.
like my thought for this would be like, because there's loads of the girls who use like their FBI digital skills to like research people's like boyfriends and family members and weird shit, and it's like. Yeah, if we're in like hellscape gig economy where there's an app where it's like, hey, do you want to get paid for being a nosy cunt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, fuck yeah, that'd be great. And then the
I'm
next
great at
thing,
this.
yeah, and then they're like digging through things, and then suddenly they're just like, hey man, so this guy's been around for 400 years. What the fuck?
They're like, great, thanks for finding that.
Thanks for finding that.
Yeah, so that is the one thing I do find a little bit weird about both these companies, but this one specifically is just
Yeah.
like how public things are starting to get about the supernatural. It seems at odds with everything else I'm seeing in World of Darkness or have been told about it.
What if they are selling it more like an ARG, and then when you get the platinum edition, they're like, okay, go to
Okay,
this
but
mission.
go actually go do.
Yeah,
Okay, honestly, that might be a little bit more legit.
that'd be kind of cool.
That would be kind of cool.
Because then you can literally just put like
Well,
hunt werewolves, kill
see,
vampires.
I
you
would
know?
make that its own group, but I think that's a really fucking cool idea.
Honestly, it's
Yeah.
dope.
That's kind of what the one group in Hunter the Vigil was.
Which one?
Not so much an ARG, but I'm trying to remember the name. They are the ones who like posted like early YouTube. They'd go out and like
Project
film.
Zero or something.
Yeah,
like that?
Project Zero.
Yeah. Yeah, fucking.
Whereas they were like, they would post like grainy, weird videos of ghosts and stuff on whatever their version of YouTube was. But like, there's so many fucking ghost and monster videos on YouTube that no one would just believe it or take it seriously. Like, oh, some artist made some spooky video.
Right. Well, there's also like so much like creepypasta, and there's people that do like the cursed image iceberg bullshit things, and there's not as many gore sites now.
Network
as
Zero.
There would be. Network Zero, that's what it was. But yeah, there's not as many gore sites now as there used to be, but also so much gore content is just raw dogged onto Instagram and YouTube and fucking TikTok anyways.
Yeah.
You kind of don't need a dedicated site for that shit anymore. Yeah, I don't know. Here's the thing. I fucking love this Hunter org. It is really interesting insofar as how it gets into the World of Darkness meta plot stuff. Because at least in Vampire, we're at this really interesting point now because of like when Vampire started, there was the big like, the internet and the masquerade. But things have gotten so fucking goofy online with all of the misinformation, and now with just the rampant influx of AI.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of swings back around to meat's back on the menu again, boys. Like,
right.
Everything
that was a special effects thing.
Yeah, that was AI.
Mm-hmm. Obviously, fucking look at it.
There's too many fingers.
Yeah, it's just a Nosferatu.
People don't bend that way.
Right.
Just the poor Nosferatus. Oh.
Damn it.
I know I'm ugly.
I'm not AI.
Oh, no. My heart. Oh, buddy. Oh, God, that's going to be a new insult for Nosferatu. Just being like, you look AI generated.
Oof.
Ooh, rude. So, yeah, so it's one of those, like, if you're coming into the game with World of Darkness brain from, like, older editions or even really early 5th ed, something like this is going to be really hard to clock.
Yeah.
But if you're playing the game set in for now time, I think this can work and still maintain the most people don't know about the supernatural because we live in this very misinformation techno age.
I think it's doable. I wish they had just talked about that more.
Yeah.
It kind of just throws them out as these guys exist, but doesn't talk about like how any of these companies really like cover.
Yeah.
Like I get Monster X is like covered as a self-defense brand.
Yeah, they're a military contractor.
They're a military contractor.
Weapons.
They do field testing, and that's easy. That's real easy to.
There's hundreds of companies that do that shit already. We just now have extra bullshit.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, something like this, I'm like, I'm impressed with how smart this is. I'm giving the writing team credit. This is really smart. I enjoy the shit out of this. Definitely gonna have to talk about some like realism calibration stuff with your table. Just
this one.
Yeah,
I like the idea. I love the app idea. I like your idea of maybe it's like a secret section of like a simpler app. Maybe it is like a PI app. Maybe it is a bodyguard and security app, and then like for people in the know.
Yeah, like people like bouncers and like people that want to offer investigative services. There's loads of people in IT that are really good at doing like tech security stuff, and they could get like this app could be like a side gig for them where they get hired to do extra security things, and then either they find some fucked up shit and get pulled into the secret purpose of the app, or, you know, somebody was already kind of in the know and then they got headhunted by people in the app going, hey, we really like your skills. You should do this.
I like that feels like almost more of like playing into the MLM feeling of this, where it's like, oh, great, you're good at this. Let's get you under me.
Yeah.
So I think kind of playing into
oh god, a monster hunting downline.
Oh my god.
Maybe.
I'm sorry, Hunter, didn't mean to interrupt. Go on.
No, I was saying, but kind of playing into what you were saying though.
Yeah.
So Venge offers very little in the way of training whatsoever, and even less in vetting new operatives.
That sounds on brand
so
for
it's kind of
Uber.
like you just got the job, but don't worry, the operatives get to vet themselves. Many don't survive job number 1, and it's estimated that less than 10% make it to a job number 10.
Yeah, I guess they don't end up having to worry about blowing their cover about monster hunting if they're just churning through that many operatives.
Yeah.
So never mind.
So that side of it makes sense.
I'd be just worried about like nosy kids on YouTube finding out like what the death rates are for working with this company and then starting to put shit together.
Yeah, a lot of stuff like that. And like, I'm going to talk about some more of the organization and of the last company.
Mm-hmm.
To run a company that big as the last company, the amount of people that are sifting through data and stuff about supernaturals.
Yeah. Well, I'm just like, even if they're not getting the supernaturals, if a gig economy app has a death rate that high, there's going to be drama YouTube channels that are going to be all over this shit.
There is something we'll talk about that might cover up some of that, but we'll come back around. I think this one specifically will take a little bit of work for you to make this a main focus of a game and have it feel real and part of the rest of the World of Darkness.
I think it would just be more of a calibration for your table, because, like, I don't know, like, when I run World of Darkness, I like things being very grounded, so when I throw a high strangeness at you guys, it feels fucking weird and uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But there might be other STs that are, like, more willing to dick around with, like, the high strangeness more continuously, and this kind of shit probably borderlining on, like, Twin Peaks level of just, what the fuck? Okay, I guess this just is here now.
That's also kind of the problem. We talked about it previously, and we'll talk about it more in the upcoming episode about what this does overall for Hunter the Reckoning. It adds to the muddiness of what even a hunter is, I think.
Okay.
Because the drive is not a tangible thing. It's essentially just someone who wants to hunt monsters. And in all previous versions, it's essentially something clicks and you now know and accept that the supernatural exists.
Yes.
So this is adding a whole lot of people to knowing and dealing with the supernatural on a daily basis.
And they just don't give that much of a fuck?
They don't care. They're like, well, I can make money off of this. Which, I mean, I think that's a very realistic response for a lot of people. Yes. But it's something that it almost feels like it goes against what Hunter and Werewolf have laid out about the World of Darkness. So, I don't know. We can talk about that more later. We can talk about it
more in detail, because I think it's an interesting parallel to some of the stuff from Mage.
Yeah.
Which we can get into later, but I think that this is setting up Hunter the Reckoning to be a much more interesting parallel to Mage.
Yeah, we'll talk about I mean, there is Mage stuff in this.
Oh, of course.
I mean, I already mentioned the Arcanum, so they're Mage adjacent. They're everything adjacent, but
yeah.
I don't know. I would almost say just because you're running Hunter the Reckoning and all these things exist in a book, they don't all have to exist in your version of the game world. I think having like one or two of these exist is totally fine. I think having like 10 competing mega corporations doing this shit gets to the point where it's like, that's just too many people. It's one of those like inside secrets. Like it's like Tesla. You know what I mean? Like Tesla, quote unquote, has a lot of corporate secrets. Mm-hmm. Everyone who works at Tesla is really proud to work at Tesla, and they'll just tell you about shit. They will not
shut the fuck up.
There's so much shit that should be like NDA'd that they just brag about. Even the owner just brags about and doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like
I think this kind of runs into similar problems with Shadowrun, and like, John, you've run Shadowrun a little bit more than me, so you can agree or disagree with me on this, where there's, God, how many like canon megacorps are there in Shadowrun? Like 15, 20?
There are 10 of the AAAs.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's also AA Corps and single A Corps.
Yeah, when I was trying to think of like just like, even if we're just getting into the A's, like all of the A's, what is that, like 20, 25?
Yeah, something like that.
I think if you're going to have a Hunter the Reckoning game where you're acknowledging all these orgs, I think having most of them just be in the background, but your chronicle is focusing on like a couple is valid, because that's pretty much how I've ever run Shadowrun, is all of these corps exist. Mm-hmm. Y'all are only going to dick around with 2, maybe 3.
I also like the idea of like, you know, in Shadowrun, it's like there's the Megacorps, and the Megacorps a lot of the time also own a lot of the B ranking corps and so forth down. And I like the idea that, like, you know, Monster Hunter X is like the Megacorp part. And if you're dealing with Monster Hunter X, you might not even know, because you're dealing with the subsidiary of the subsidiary of the subsidiary of the subsidiary, you know. I think I would run a lot of these orgs kind of like that.
Okay.
Where it's just like, they're just so big that you're like, how on earth am I buying this flash drive? How could that possibly deal with like Monster Hunter X?
I mean, that's one of those, for Monster Hunter X, that makes sense. I think when we're getting into Revenge,
it's a little bit weirder,
because the way that the app and the way the company is running is so like, you're dealing with it directly. Yeah, I think maybe getting into monster hunting, but it's an MLM somehow. Yeah. And there's an app. Just, This is really fucking smart. I'm just trying to sit here and square this circle, and I'm sorry we keep interrupting you, Hunter.
No, I think it's interesting because that was the one thing reading through this that I was just kind of like bugging me. As much as I enjoy like the concept and the writing of this, there's like, it almost changes the way I think of the overall setting to make this work. There are ways around it, but I don't know. It's a little off. I would almost like pick one or the other of these two companies to exist. It is interesting that they're parallels to each other, and that's why I picked these two.
Yeah, no, you did good. This is a good, like, parallel option.
But also, it's, I don't know, it's a little weird to me. Listeners, actually, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it as well, especially if you've read this.
Yeah.
But, like...
And it's also, like... Well, I've spent time researching companies that are similar to Monster Hunter X, but they do just military contracting, just because, like... Hi, as an American, a lot of these companies either... come from my country or are purchased by my government to do whatever the fuck thing. So I have to look at this. I've had more personal interactions with companies like Revenge, though.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know if it's just my personal knowledge is getting in the way of how this could work. Maybe that might be part of the problem. I also have just a very personal revulsion to, as you've noted in the script that I could see about the culture with Revenge being very modern hustle grind culture. That's a thing that personally gives me massively the ick, which is why I'm like, oh, this is really cool for a game. In real life, it makes me want to fucking gouge my eyes out. Like, I've given up really good jobs at companies that have this energy because I fucking cannot. Like, it's part of the reason why I don't think I'll ever really play Changeling, because I'm too close to that as a person. I'm just like, the banality in here,
Can't do it.
I am going to remove myself from the census. Like, I can't be in this room.
Yeah. But let's talk about the other side of them, because we've mostly been talking about like the operatives and the hunt. But culture-wise, Revenge is all about modern hustle and grind. Now, for those who are hired full-time, they tend to work on the tech. It's in the data side, and they have it pretty easy. Remote jobs, flexible schedules, reasonable work expectations. It's actually a pretty chill job for them.
They're just
Nice.
They're just fixing the app, customer service, and like data entry.
Yeah, some of those guys might not even know about the supernatural. You're literally working on an app.
That's so funny.
Like get jobs come in, we pair it with with one of our operatives, send it back out.
There's a whole section of IT that is just making sure the app is running, and that's all the fuck they do.
Legit.
Yeah.
They just get all the bug reports.
Yeah. And then they have no idea.
Yeah. So everyone else is pretty much on their own, though, because there's not a lot of middle management either. It's kind of like the guys who own it, then the tech guys, then the people in the field. And they're like almost all completely separate from each other.
Yeah, so there's no like physical offices.
There's one physical office, and that's where like basically the two main head guys and maybe a couple other people work. It's a big showy office, but no one actually works there.
That's so
for the
funny.
most part. But yeah, everyone else on their own. Operatives get 2 emails as their only contact up to the chain to the rest of the company whatsoever. One is for app support, and the other's for data requests.
Oh my god.
Beautiful.
It's so funny.
Trying to remember. Yeah, so the quote, page 63, field staff only contacts with Revenge are 2 email addresses, contractor.support and contractor.data. Support is for general administrative and corporate matters, app malfunctions, queries about account status, and so on. Data is for requests for additional information on a case.
God damn it.
This is so funny. Ugh. Okay. I've not worked for like Lyft or fucking DoorDash or any of that shit. I've not done that kind of work, but I've seen a little bit about that because like I care about labor rights because I'm that kind of dork. And I'm just like, oh man, this is such a read on gig economy shit. Like, it's so good.
Yeah. Now, some successful operatives actually spend more time researching the company than they do their own quarries. If they can find out how to get a hold of those working in the tech and data side of things, they can get more direct information that they need to stay alive one more night. It actually talks about how, if you're lucky, you can get like the actual work email for someone working on the data side, and you can like then start communicating directly. I think it's in the lore sheet too. But we'll talk about that, the lore sheets, more in the Hunter reshaping episode. Also, it says that some people just look at how the 2 main emails they get and any other email addresses they might see are formatted and just start guessing at other corporate emails to try and like get a hold of anyone for more information.
They're just trying to brute force their way
Yeah.
into the system. Damn.
John Smith at revenge.com.
.org.
Send. Shit.com was wrong.
.net.
.org.
.io.
All right, that one didn't work. Jane Doe at revenge.com. Fuck.
That's so funny.
But yeah,
Leaving Revenge. That's the part where I'm a little like, oh no.
well, it's similar but not similar. So you get tired of doing the gig economy stuff. You want to be done with it. That's fine. You were never hired to begin with. So you were most likely just a contractor and you can leave whenever you want. And actually, the non-compete only lasts 2 years.
Oh, wow.
Reasonable.
So, unlike Monster X, though, Revenge does not take well to ex-employees working for the company off the books or using its data for non-gig purposes. So, say you're even hunting as a hobby, but you have all this information you learned while working at Revenge. I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. You're using their proprietary data.
You're using their proprietary data. Oh my god, kill me.
you learn from experience, because they didn't teach you how. You had to figure it out. You learn how to properly stake a vampire.
Yeah.
But now using that technique that you figured out is violating their, like, contracts and whatnot?
Yes.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's a fun fact.
It's like driving for Uber.
Yeah.
And then becoming a taxi driver and being told, well, you can't do that.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me. I have an uncle that worked for I'm not gonna say which oil company, but a oil company, and he was the engineer that designed the deep water drills that can turn at 90 degrees. But because he was hired by company, they took the patent from him.
Mm-hmm. Good stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, shit like that.
Yep.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Really good stuff, we'll call it.
It was fine and good.
It was great.
Yeah. So any activity after leaving Revenge could attract the attention of what they call the Satisfiers.
I hate that.
Ew.
That's gross. I hate that. What
He's
is
gonna
it?
come satisfy you.
Oh no.
Or at least satisfy your contract. No one knows much about this shadowy team, and discussion of them online tends to disappear quick. They also hint at a Revenge like chat room where all talk about them is completely banned.
So there's a Revenge like work group chat, and if you happen to mention the Satisfiers, it just
Gone.
down.
Like your post or your profile?
At least one of them.
Okay, at least one of them. Got it.
Yeah. Didn't go into that much detail, but word is that their main tactics include threatening, intimidation, and injury.
Injury.
Until former employees are back in line. Whether that means re-signing onto a contract or giving up the hunt.
I hate that this is 21st century Pinkertons.
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Gross. Like, that's fantastic for game, but also just like,
I don't want it. Okay, calm down.
Just why are they called the Satyrs? I hate that.
They really did choose a not great
No,
choice.
it's perfect, but also no, don't want it.
Okay, how'd you guys feel about the idea of a game where your hunters are playing a Satisfier cell?
That would be
You're
cool.
hunting the hunters.
That could be really fun
It
too.
could be really fun, but also just the whole time I just like, can we literally be called anything else? Can we just? I'm almost ready to take Goon at this rate. Jesus.
I think this applies to both companies, but I do want to make a quick correction here as I'm looking at the book. My memory was a little off.
Oh, you're good.
The part where it talks about doing this as a hobby but selling off the vampires, quote, lovingly curated collection of antiques or sorcerer's library is from the Revenge section, not the monster. But I think that's true of both.
Probably.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, that is very true.
I mean, unless, that's what they were going for anyway.
Yeah.
If they sent you off to be like, okay, look, you're going to kill this guy, sell off his fucking paintings.
Well, I feel like Monster X would have people on staff to know, like, oh, we can use artwork as, like, liquid assets as a way to, like, launder our funds. They'd probably want to rendition those. If there's, like, library things, they'd probably want to take that for R&D.
Fair.
The book also talks about all of these companies having pretty shady financiers, and some of the jobs they take may be
Oh, Benny.
questionable.
What have you been doing?
So yeah, those are the two main new ones. There's a lot more data in here, but we're already an hour talking about two of them, and I have a lot more to go over.
Oh shit! I'm sorry, dude. Continue
No hurry. I'm just saying, but like those are the deeper dives we got into from the core book, and those are specific. They don't tie into any other game lines directly. Like they're not
like
Hunter
specific.
Hunter specific. There's, as far as I know, nothing about these in any vampire or werewolf books. These are just specific ones. The other ones that they go into details from do have a lot of crossover, specifically with the Second Inquisition.
Yeah, Monster X has been mentioned in Vampire, but it's usually just like mentioned and then moved on.
Yeah, okay.
So.
Yeah, so that's interesting. I didn't know that. I'll have to keep an eye out for that. We also got 6 brand new orgs that are just for this book. John got a fly.
I saw the wake form of the smack.
I'm gonna leave it in.
Hell yeah.
So we had a bunch. We had, like I said, there's a whole chart. A whole
we do like a
chart in the beginning of the book that talks about all the different orgs. And there were a bunch in the core book. Most of the ones that they expand on in this book are also in the core book. But then they have some new ideas that you can kind of, they each get about 1.5 to 2 pages of information. You can kind of just run with them as you see fit.
Ayo.
But let's go over those real quick because I think some of them are really fun. So the first one is Delphic Industries.
Or Delphic Investments?
Delphic Investments. Delphic Investments is a Chicago-based company managing the fortunes of many, working the stock market with near psychic precision, and manipulating the market illegally when necessary.
Oh.
Just because of what they've called themselves.
Yeah.
I'm also just like, girl, why are you so loud? Girl, why are you loud?
For those who don't know, Delphic is, it's a band. Okay, that's not what I'm looking for. It's also a Greek oracle.
Yeah, the oracles of Delphi.
Yeah.
All of the occultic girlies have just been screaming and pointing at their screen going, I know this. Ooh.
Yes.
Great job.
Yes.
Proud.
You were correct. I like that their little logo for corporate logo is just like a little pyramid with the top part with like where the little eye would be.
Yeah, and it's orange instead of black like the rest of the logo.
Yeah.
It what's fun about them too is the psychic precision may be more than a rumor. And many of its clients are really, really old.
Interesting.
So they're managing fortunes for very old people. And manipulating the stock market in
Chicago?
They're based in Chicago,
in Chicago, you say?
Yeah.
Fascinating.
It specifically says it's interesting that they're based in Chicago, where most companies like this are in New York.
Some of y'all are going to really enjoy the Halloween special. I'm just going to say that right now.
It does, in fact, say that this company does delve into human trafficking.
Some of y'all are going to really enjoy the Halloween special.
In Chicago, you say.
I did not plan this with Hunter. I just want everyone to know. I did my own stuff separately. Fantastic. The next one I'm also looking at going,
Yeah. This one's also got some fun throwback references. We have our first academic org, which is the Gates of Alexander. So the Gates operate largely throughout the Middle East and Africa. They are possibly the oldest org in the world. Some say they go all the way back to Alexander the Great, and that their HQ is located in his great library.
Oh, that's fancy.
What makes them special, though, is that they're actually open to anyone. Anyone can come join, get information from them. A lot of people don't trust them because they're foreign. They're kind of the opposite of the Arcanum. We haven't dug into the Arcanum a whole lot, but they're kind of like, these are a really fun competitor to the Arcanum.
Yeah, so for like those who don't know the Arcanum is very just like this academic elite. It does lead into kind of the tropes that you do kind of get in Call of Cthulhu a little bit with the classism with academia and, very Bembridge scholars, glasses up bridge of nose.
Yeah, and with the Arcanum, they're kind of just like, we are the elite of the magic world too. So you get sorcerers, you get mages, you get blood sorcerers. You might even have some mummies running around. Like,
you probably could, if we was like, oh yes, we have some people from abroad and a couple of like Quasian like scholars.
Yeah, they really are like what is it, the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen almost.
Yeah, the Arcanum's very interesting, and if you like I would recommend that kind of stuff for folks who like, if you really like Magnus Archives, I feel like would work really well with the Arcanum.
I've been kind of waiting for us to get a little more mage stuff before I did a
Oh yeah, no, that's super
episode,
valid.
But they do tie into everything.
Yeah.
That's why they're so complicated too, is they tie into everything.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to have a wide knowledge to talk about.
Yeah. Oh god, I was trying to think. What was that television show that got like really popular? That was about a bunch of like magic users.
The Librarians?
No, but with like a bunch of kids at school. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
A bunch of my queer Tumblr adjacent friends were super into it, and they're like,
So
"Sarah,
not me.
you should watch it." And I was like, "I guess," but
I have no clue.
I
Yeah,
don't
got no
remember.
idea
I can remember the trailer visually in my head, but like it's very dark academia, and like half the trailer is this girl like psychically like floating while having a levitation in the library, and there's a bunch of fucking. I would say if you're into that show, I feel like the Arcanum would work for you.
All right.
So I think, yeah, so I'm kind of excited to have the Gates of Alexander just being a lot more egalitarian, and it fits more in line with how like scholarship was done for many centuries prior to, I'm just gonna say it, the Enlightenment.
And it does
Huzzah.
And it does specifically say that the gates are open to everyone. Quote, in the book, Alexander's edict was plain. Seek out the supernatural and understand it so that it may be destroyed. To this end, unlike orgs like the Arcanum, the gates of Alexander must be forever open to all who wish to pass through them and learn.
Unless you're one of those supernaturals.
Maybe. Doesn't really...
I mean, they just said that they want to learn them
And
so
destroy
that they
them.
can destroy them.
That doesn't mean they can't talk to them first.
I suppose that's true.
But regardless...
They sit down at the table and they're like, just so you know, puts gun on table.
Oh, just a big frenemies thing. Kill you later.
But because they're a foreign organization, they have such a weird, openly, like, we've been around, it's like an old magic guild kind of thing.
Yeah.
A lot of people just don't like or trust them.
Yeah, and I would imagine a lot of hunters or orgs that are trying to be very, like, scientific, quote, big air quotes, or have these very, like, Western ideas of academia are gonna not like something like this.
No, not at all. Not at all. And it even says, though, that their operatives, we'll call them, even though I don't think they'd call themselves operatives, scholars.
Yeah.
It uses a lot. They tend to either be hired out as mercenaries for the other orgs because they actually know what they're doing. They're like, all right, I guess we'll put up with this guy because he knows more than I do. Fuck. Or they kind of infiltrate the world of academia and kind of poach people that way and gain information that way.
Fantastic. We love that. The
So-
next one, I'm immediately like, oh no.
So are they like teachers in academia or other like scholarly folks, you know?
They're like, oh yeah, I'm in this university for like on a lecture tour, and then I found this guy and I went, hey, business card?
Well, so like the book actually specifically says the Gates recruits promising scholars from the academic world, sending its members all over the globe under the guise of the Caspian Program, a series of research grants and fellowships for students and faculty.
Caspian program. Dang. 10 out of 10. Good dig. We love that.
But yeah, so there, I think I knew they'd specifically be a very Sarah organization.
Oh, yes. And then,
I turned the page, Skipper's not happy.
yeah, I saw the script and when I'm also not happy. I'm happy but not happy. Does
Yes.
that make sense?
Yeah, so the next one that we get more information on is Project Twilight.
Ugh.
And they're one of the ones I say, we'll get back to them.
We're going to put a pin in that.
We're going to put a pin. We got an episode talking about all the other spots of World of Darkness, and for some reason they belong more there than here. Interesting, right?
Yeah.
The next one is the Real Cognitas.
Recognize-
Cognistas. They are vigilante org, and we will actually talk more about them later as
That's
well.
also getting a pin. Okay.
They're also getting a pin.
The real Cognistas. I'm trying to...
They are, believe they're new. They're one of the new ones.
Yeah.
But
like new.
Yeah, but there were three new three new Hunter books that came out since last Hunter month, and I'm trying to kind of
Get through them in a way that makes fucking sense.
yeah. So I did this episode first. This group specifically ties into another one of the books. They're like the main focus of one of the other books. So,
Okay. So we're just gonna pin that.
we're
for
going to
later.
talk about that more when we talk about that book.
Okay.
Cool.
Valid.
But there's an intro to them, and then they have a whole thing about them.
Dang, a thing?
A whole thing, if you
Dang,
will.
a thing.
I think Sarah really liked this next one though. we have the Red Eyes Community Watch.
Why is their logo a spray painted eyes of Horus?
I don't know. That's interesting.
Yeah, it is really interesting. Explain, Hunter, please.
So the Red Eyes are more of a vigilante group than anything. They're actually inspired by Brazilian favela groups and autonomous zones during protests.
Okay.
So the Red Eyes are the downtrodden, poor, and minority groups banding together to stop the paranormal threats that prey on those everyone else kind of forgets. So, like, the people Monster Hunter X and Revenge, the people can't afford them. Mm-hmm. The people that the governments say, it's not a vampire, it's gang violence.
Mm-hmm. Again, y'all are going to enjoy the Halloween special? I accidentally did a really smart take, because I was like, this is just topical and interesting, and then I'm like, oh.
It even says there is no real centralized organization of the Red Eyes Community Watch. They're almost like the Antifa of the monster hunting world, where it's kind of just anyone who wants to do it.
Yeah. So given the current political climate, I'm going to be very, very specific right in this moment. Oh. Antifa is not an actual organization. There's not a club you can go to. There's no one that's the head of Antifa. No one is funding Antifa. That's all bullshit. Antifa is just anti-fascism, which is any action that you take to be like, fascism sucks. And that can include being like, anti-racist, fighting against like xenophobic bullshit.
Fucking running a community garden.
Yeah, is anti-fascist action. Yeah, so like, there's a bunch of that bullshit going on right now. So if people get confused, I'm just like being very clear. And as I punch the mic, I'm sorry.
She's very passionate.
I am, because I actively do this shit.
Yeah.
And it's fucking stupid. And I spent so much of this morning watching a bunch of bullshit from the government and news folks.
I'm just saying it'd be a whole lot cooler if we could get funding.
Yeah.
From an organization here, okay? Because, like...
Yeah, the only funding Antifa gets is when we do a fundraiser amongst ourselves to give money to a charity to help other people. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? So, I just want people to know this very clearly. So, having this Hunter org that's in that same line of... There is no Red Eye Community Watch. They're like, Red Eye's not an org. It's just a thing you participate in. I think is really cool.
And one thing that I think is interesting, so all these have like a key personnel, like some of the bigger ones we talked about their founders and their owners. Like, I just flipped to the page, but it's not too much of a spoiler, but like key personnel for, let's see, Project Twilight is the FBI liaison for Project Twilight. They're a government org. Yeah. But it talks about things like that. It talks about the people who run it, CEOs, things like this. For Red Eyes Community Watch, they have Yuiza Carrillo, a founder and organizer of a New York chapter. Yeah. You have Gonzalo G. Herrera, host of the Red Eye Radio podcast. Matika Smalljohn, advocate, organizer of the Vancouver Free State chapter.
Yeah, so if you're wanting to get into gameplay like this and also realize how it parallels in real life, yeah, guys, there's not going to be a Red Eyes Community Watch. There might be swag and merch, which that's one thing I'm not looking forward to. Is people just being like, well, they have a symbol and a flag, so clearly it's an organization and they're getting funding to do all these terrorist acts. And I'm like, girl, if I could get any of the other fuckers that I do anti-fascist action with actually on the same fucking page at any point, that would be a miracle. Yeah. That would be fantastic. Like, but no, just like it unfortunately is very topical. So I have to be like, hi guys, hello.
Wouldn't it be really fun if we played a Red Eyes Community Watch that was essentially just Piss House, but then we took it out on our landlord who was a vampire?
There you go.
That's so funny. That's so funny.
We do have one more.
Ooh.
And Sarah, you might know about these guys a little bit. Extend LTD.
Okay, that just sounds like a boner pill.
It does sound like a boner pill, which is very funny.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I didn't get a bigger reaction out of Sarah, but
I groaned.
Yeah. So Extend actually started as a telecom and data firm. Extend has become a global operation. Extend had little to no direct interest in the supernatural at all, actually. They were just a telecoms and data company, like I said, out of India. But that is until the founder, Satyavan Chopra, became sick with an unknown illness and was left comatose. Satyavan's wife, Savita, Saviti took over operations and wanted to find a cure. The search for a cure led them to the actions of a vampire within their own community. And uncovered a worldwide society of bloodsuckers. And gave her an interest in blood sorcery and how it might cure her husband.
Yeah, that's why I was kind of sat here going, interesting. Yeah, so Extend, if you guys want to learn more about this company and the blood sorcery cult tied to it, the blood sorcery book, Blood Sigils, there's a whole section in there.
Yep. It specifically says go look at blood sigils for this group.
Miss Chopra is interesting.
It's really cool that they've moved into Hunter because they were kind of like mentioned, but we've never gotten any more, and then they pop up here.
Yeah, which is really cool. But the interesting thing with like Miss Chopra's section in Blood Sigils is it does really double down on, especially because the pyramid for the Tremere has been cracked. And so the Camarilla does not have as good of an arm on regulating the masquerade on blood sorcery anymore. So we have that combined with just the rampant amount of thin bloods doing sorcery. And with the ministry now working with the Anarchs and they have their own blood sorcery, there's basically nothing. Not only is there, like, nothing really being a force strong arm to, like, keep blood sorcery under wraps, there's folks like the Ministry and now, unfortunately, also the Banu Hakim because of the situation they're in that are having to peddle and wheel and deal and weaponize their blood sorcery in ways they haven't had to do until recently. So they, with Miss Chopra's organization, with Extend, there's now mortals that are having, like, direct interactions with blood sorcery now, and now it's, like, an interesting game plot issue of, like, what the fuck does that mean now?
Right.
That's also brought up for Red Eyes.
Yeah.
Because a lot of, like, those drugs are making it to humans and causing the same sort of drugs that, like, real-life drugs cause, and how do we deal with that?
Yeah, because there's a bunch of really interesting plot stuff with the thin blood drug Ash.
There's Ash. It also talks about mages making not just psychic delic but reality altering drugs.
Oh god, the mage is doing, oh god damn it, the cult of ecstasy, stop it.
They literally can't.
Yeah.
The
whole world would fall apart.
Yeah, and then there's also like a bunch of interesting stuff you can get into on the mortal side of things with like the sci-fi elements on like biotech and where we are with a lot of stuff currently.
Yeah.
And how that can intersect with supernatural stuff, I think's really interesting. So I'm like, this area is rife for not only interesting stuff on the hunter side, but also on the vampire and mage. This is just set up really nicely for a lot of cross-splat fucking chicanery.
Yeah. We'll go into details, but like I was telling Sarah earlier today, I feel like Hunter has kind of become, these books are kind of the glue that's tying World of Darkness together. Like there's not a lot of cross-splat stuff in the werewolf books. There's not a lot of cross-splat stuff in the Hunter books. I mean, they're mentioned, but it's not actually talking about like how they'd be interacting, how you interact with them.
Outside of like a singular like encounter event. Yeah.
There's a lot of that in this. It even talks about, I think it's under Revenge. Don't quote me directly, just read the book. But there's like a section that Revenge where it's like, yeah, you can actually, if you need the money, you can work on multiple jobs at once if you don't mind having multiple targets team up and come for you together.
Oh no, somebody hustle grinds too hard and then like the couple of vampires they've been fucking with go, hey,
or a vampire and a werewolf are like, hey, this guy wants to kill us both, why don't we put our trouble aside and
just solve the problem. And then you're just like, I have no backup.
Oh no,
I'm an independent contractor, I don't have bennies.
Yeah. So that's all the new ones. And some of those are quote unquote new. They've been in other systems, but they're putting them here directly saying, please use this for Hunter.
Yes.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's dope as shit.
Like I mentioned, we got Project Twilight, we got the Real Cognizant is just Hunter, but another thing. But we got Project Twilight, we got Extend, who I thought were worth digging into anyway because they're not as big. And then we also have like Society of St. Leopold in this book. We have let me get to the... Yeah, we have Society of St. Leopold, we have the Arcanum, we have Special Affairs Division.
Ayo.
And these are all rules for playing as them, using the Hunter rules.
Yeah, which is dope.
Yeah, that's cool.
Instead of there just being like a weird standalone book for any of those organizations like there were in previous editions. Like it was not a Hunter book, it was a like a vampire book that was just a random book that had all the rules for making Immortal plus, and it's like, this is the Society of St. Leopold, or this is the Arcanum, and it's like, just use human rules, or you can use the sorcerer rules, or they just put them all right here.
Yeah.
Which I like. It also hints at a lot of stuff that's coming up. So
Yeah.
I do like the idea of Hunter just becoming, we're crunching all the human elements of all the splats into one system, because that also creates like a unity across all the systems, that they're all coming from the same human build. They're all...
Yeah, that'll be good. And then, like...
It makes the shared enemies the same, too.
Yeah, and it makes it easier to do, as I say, get more utility out of your game books, because you're like, I have the Hunter book, which allows me to make enemies for things in Vampire, but then I can take the Vampire information and chuck it into a Hunter campaign later if I wanted, or for a different table.
Yeah.
And then, if I want to cross those things, I can. I just appreciate game systems that give players and storytellers as much utility as possible, particularly because, hi guys, the economy sucks.
Yeah.
Some people don't have the money to be dropping $50-$60 on that many game books anymore. So having something that can get that much utility out of them is fucking great.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And what's cool is, like, I didn't get into it, but there is actually a section, there are, like, notes in this about designing your own orgs. So if you want, you could
do
So we
that.
could make that ARG.
It talks...
org.
Oh, I hate
Yeah,
that.
we could...
I love it, but I hate
If people want us to do that, we totally could. I think that would actually be really fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would
actually,
like to run with that idea.
tell us in the community Discord if that's what you want.
Nah, because I like that idea. Especially, I mean, Network Zero was one of my favorite organizations in Hunter the Vigil. So you could definitely kind of update
and that, like,
them.
crosses over into, like, Red Question and Vampire.
There's a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
But there's also a ton of information in the back of this book on even more orgs. There's, like, a section on how to use orgs for longer chronicles and that stuff. And what's cool is it actually has information even for the orgs that didn't make it into this book. So, like, some of the ones that were in the core book.
Are those, like, flowcharts for how, like, org structures would work? Or
Yeah, there's flowcharts for how
Nice.
orgs could work, how you could lay them out, who would know who your cell would actually be in contact with, how different orgs might interact with each other, or crossovers through specific people. There's even information on some of the groups that were in the core book, like I said, that didn't make in this, like Bope RJ, the Nails of Christ, the Order of the Rose, the Orpheus group.
Goddamn Order of the Rose. God
Sad. Special
Yeah.
Affairs Division.
Special Rehabilitation Program.
Oh, no.
Yeah, there's a lot of different stuff in here for using orgs, making your own, expanding the ones that already exist, tying them together overall.
Dope.
There's, like, some scenarios to run at the back.
So the TLDR is solid book if you want to get into Hunter, but we'll do a more proper review soon.
Yeah, we're gonna do a review soon, but I'm mostly talking about this from the orgs section, but this is a org book, so, like, it's kind of hard not to do a little bit of a review on it.
Yeah, I low key, just based on the information you've covered on this episode, I almost kind of want to recommend if you are just predominantly a vampire storyteller, this might be just a good book to have on your shelf.
That's the thing is, like, I think this is true of all of the Hunter books, but this one specifically is like a good, like, monster manual almost. It's like, okay, but I'm tired of fighting other vampires.
Yeah.
Here's a whole book of stuff you can throw in.
Or, like, shady orgs that your vampires as players or NPCs could be getting involved in by mistake or on purpose.
Oop, I accidentally turned my phone on, sorry.
You're good. You can fix that in editing.
Yeah.
Or leave it in. It's up to you're the editor.
I don't know.
Well, now that we've acknowledged it.
Yeah, but it also might be copyright music. So.
It wasn't for that long.
Okay, that's fine.
I'll let you decide in post.
Yay.
Yeah. No, all of that to say, as we are going forward as a show, because we've done a really good job, I like to think we've done a good job of covering the basics for Vampire, because that was the first big splat.
Sorry.
No, you're good. So as the game line is expanding, I'm trying to, like, retool my own personal recommendations for folks on, like, hey, if I want to get into WoD in the year of our Lord 2025, 2026, what should I be grabbing?
Yeah.
Which is kind of why I've retooled my, hey, if you're going to be playing Vampire, I recommend getting the core book, the player's guide, and then Gehenna War are kind of my three big. Like, get those. I'm still currently digging through Tattered Facade, so I'm kind of close to recommending the, hey, depending on what kind of a game you want to run, I'm going to recommend either Gehenna War or Tattered Facade
Okay.
as like your trio of like get these as your core.
Yeah.
And then if you want to expand, either get the opposite of that book or whack on In Memoriam. Just kind of depends on what your table's into.
Right.
So for somebody who's coming into this as a storyteller, I usually try to recommend that Second Inquisition book because it's really good. I do recommend the Sabat the Black Hand book because there's a lot of really good stuff for storytellers specifically.
Yeah.
I think I might be chucking apostates on that list.
I would say so. I mean,
Yeah.
I also just like, I know you said this multiple times already, but I just really like at the beginning they put a fucking chart. And it's like, here's
Blank Bodies, we love charts.
It's true.
here's where you
that.
can here's where you can get more information. So it's got a name of all the organizations listed in this book, even the small ones, the ones that get like a paragraph mentioned in the back.
Shit.
They're on this list.
Okay.
Like, Nails of Christ, they're barely in this. There's a little section in the back about how you can use them in a chronicle, but they're on the list. It tells you what type of organization they are, and then it tells you what source books you can get more information on them.
Extend is in Blood Sigils.
Yeah, Extend, Blood Sigils, Society of St. Leopold. They're religious. You can get Hunter the Reckoning and see also Second Inquisition.
Fuck yeah.
So it really does a good job of like taking all the shit that's just kind of name checked in random places, or you get like a page on them, and you're like, that's cool. I hope I get more. They kind of went and like, well, here's where all that information actually is. So if you're running one of these organizations, like Project Twilight,
Yeah, because
governmental.
Between
werewolf.
this and then some other things you were joking about before we hit recording, I'm starting to think at least one person in the WAD production team listens to our show. Because there's a couple of things where I'm like, this feels like a call out for us specifically.
Right? We're like, make a chart! Just make the fucking chart!
And I'm like, oh, there's a chart now. Thank God.
Yeah,
Which is
neat.
why now that's why we're glazing the fucking charts, guys.
Yes, look
We're
at
just-
it. It's beautiful.
Yay, let my reference book be a reference book. I like it's a reference book that fucks. I will get more into the details about the aesthetics of the Hunter line. TLDR, Sarah fucking loves it.
They're great.
It's great.
Very good aesthetics.
Yes. And it's like, you can have things that are actually useful, but the aesthetic also fucks. Imagine.
Yeah. And like, not just that, but I enjoyed seeing Hunter. We'll talk about it in an upcoming episode. I like it being kind of just the in-between. It's really laying out what's happening with the rest of the world, isn't it? Because like in Chronicles of Darkness, the core book for Chronicles of the Darkness literally only had rules for making and playing a human. Not a hunter, not a supernatural, not a ghoul. It's just like an everyday human. And the whole book was mostly just talking about the world of darkness, or the Chronicles of Darkness world, from the perspective of humanity.
Yeah.
So it kind of gets in the supernatural, but it's like, and Hunter kind of has that. That's also kind of why I have a problem with some of this being so vague on like Revenge being an open like monster hunting phone app that just has like posters around town. Sign up at like that. It's such a cool idea, but that specifically I would change for my game. Like you need to hide it. You need to make it a little less like on the nose, I think, for it to work personally. Like even if it's just like, oh, you had a brother who died mysteriously, and you get an email from someone offering you, oh, well, we can get Revenge for a price.
And you're just like, that's fucking insane.
Like, I think it would be cool if Revenge actually found their clients instead of vice versa.
They
Like, it is a gig economy.
It's like little column A, little column B, where there's the side of it where it's like, oh yeah, we have all these gig workers that like half of it is just their freelance PI.
Yeah.
And then there's the whole IT department that is going through and like basically scraping the internet for like weird news stories or weird obituaries, and then just sending these like fuck ass emails or like weird like junk mail.
Todd
and like
Scrabble
and like
died under mysterious circumstances. Heavy blood loss, none found on scene. You just get that.
And like 90% of the spam mail doesn't result in anything, but they play the big numbers game. You know, we know if we send enough of the spam, enough people are gonna bite.
Right.
And I'm like, that's nuts.
Love it.
Yeah. So there's a lot of interest getting set up in this. We'll talk about it more in the reviews episode as well. But so far as I'm getting through these books, this has a lot of what I said in the last Hunter month I wish was in the core book. It pretty much almost all of that is in this book. So
hell yeah. You know what, honestly though, pretty hyped for Hunter month.
Yeah, me too. It's been a little stressful. I've been out of town So I've been trying to like jump between reading this physically at home and on my phone on the road.
Yeah, and you don't read well on PDFs.
I can read it fine, I can reference it fine, but the information does not stay in my brain.
Yeah, so I mean, we have the similar ADHD problem of if I read it digitally, it does not sit in my head, but if I read it physically, I'm like, yeah, it's in there forever now. That's where it lives. Why? No idea. It sucks.
More tactile things to connect to the memories?
Maybe. I don't know if I've just trained my brain to, because I deal with so much digital interfacing that my brain just has trained itself to not log digital interfacing in the long term.
Like there's studies that show that that's pretty common.
Yeah, so that might be what it is. I'm not sure. There's been a handful of books that I have bought that I've gotten digital downloads for this show that are not the game books that I'm now going back and buying physical copies of because I am tired of being the intellectual dumbass of, oh, the thing. I know the thing, but I don't know the thing. Fuck. So... Yeah, so Hunter Month, this is going to be, I am hyped. Last year it was a good, like, baseline on, like, this is what Hunter is, and this is where we're at, and da-da-da. And I feel like the game has been stepped up in ways that I'm like, oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah,
fuck yeah, concrete.
There's a lot to do with this, and with these books, and I think that's why I'm doing a whole episode about it, but there's a lot that you can do with this information that's not running a Hunter the Reckoning game.
Yeah.
Like, these are very good books. The werewolf books are fine, but like most of them I wouldn't recommend to a werewolf player.
Or recommend to somebody who's
I wouldn't recommend to a vampire player, sorry.
Yeah.
Like, so if you're like you're not an ST who's specifically wanting to use werewolves as your main like antagonist, there's not a whole lot of reason to dive into that unless you really just like reading it, want to flesh the world out. Yeah. Whereas there's a lot you can pull out of this for either of those game lines and just
fucking go.
It's like the Hunter books are almost kind of becoming what was World of Darkness line in previous books. Like there was the Chronicles books that were just generic Chronicles, use these for any splat. Then there was the World of Darkness books that use them for any old world splat. I think they kind of just rolled all of that into Hunter.
Kind of
is how it's starting to feel.
Kind of dope.
That'd be cool. I hope it's the case that I hope they keep it up that way.
Because there's a lot of stuff that like the Arcanum. I believe the Arcanum books were originally mage books, but they tie into everything. So it's like, I think this is a better organization to just be like, we put all the extra stuff in Hunter. There you go.
When in doubt, put it in Hunter. Ayo.
Oh no, don't do that.
Not without his consent, please. Thank you.
And I don't generally.
Yeah. Thank you, Paralyze, for the music. We can put that in Hunter, though.
Yeah.
In his ear holes. Because the music's good. They're on Bandcamp. Check them out. Give them $. Support local artists. Hell yeah.
It's neat. You're cool if you do that.
Yes, you are cool and good. So we have a couple little announcements for us. So with the conjunction of Hunter Month, we also have another set of pre-orders of the extended sizes of our merch shirts.
Yeehaw!
They're getting printed by the same lovely local company that we've been using.
Yeehaw!
So the options will be 3X, 4X, and 5X. If anybody wants a 6X, just DM me. I didn't hear a lot of people asking for 6Xs, so I didn't throw it on the shirt because I wanted to make sure all of the extended sizes pre-order was on one slot.
Is just go
for on the Ko-Fi store. Hi, we have a merch store on Ko-Fi.
Oh yeah, check it out.
Yeah,
you should buy some stuff from us.
Yeah, so I just wanted to make sure that I had that all in one slot and didn't have to split things up weird. So if you are a big boy, girl, or they, and you want to have our swag, the pre-order should be up now.
Yeah.
So you can go click that. We finally got our Blank Buddies sticker packs in. They are no longer stuck on the boat.
They are good stickers.
They are rad stickers, and 2 of them are holographics.
They're neat.
So this is a first edition run of our sticker pack. You get 5 a variety pack of stickers for $6.66.
Yeah, because that's funny.
It's because it's funny number. So you can order those on the Ko-Fi. We also have a sticker pack order of our original 3-inch logo design. And we also have 1-inch buttons.
Oh, hell yeah.
They had gone missing. I have found them.
They're back.
So we have those. I don't know if Hunter, you'd put in the orders for the other buttons or no yet.
They're in the works.
Okay. And
at some point.
Yeah. And at some point in the future, there'll be more buttons, but at least for the OG buttons, they are available and they're up on the shop, as well as all of our other merch.
They are cute and good.
Yeah, so if you just go to Ko-Fi Blank Bodies, you'll find it. If you go to blankbodies.com, there's a merch store button. Take you right there.
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. We also have Patreon. Anybody who gives us money for that, thank you. That has allowed us to invest in the merch options. We are also currently looking into upgrading more of our equipment
Yay!
so that we can make show better and also do other production stuff to make show better.
Yay.
So thank you for supporting us on that. If you would like to throw in your dollar dues to help us make show better, or you just like what we're doing and you're showing us support with dollars, because that's how capitalism works. Patreon.com/blankbodies, correct?
Yes.
Or if you just go to blankbodies.com, we have a Patreon button. You can just click that. And on top of that, if you are a patron, you get special tags in our community Discord. You get an extra bonus episode every month. You get to participate in the polls that help us decide the direction in which we do the show, because you're paying us. We want your fucking input on how we do our dumbass show.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we did a whole episode on 1,000-Year-Old Vampire and using it to make NPCs and characters for Vampire the Masquerade.
That was lots of fun.
And there's a current episode up, or poll up for the Patreon episode, which I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Because it's Hunter Month.
Boo, 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 boo.
So I'm going to go way too hard in the paint about some vampire movie. You guys get to pick which one on the poll.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. There are all films that I really, really like. Either I really like the film or I like the film and the director. And depending on which film you go to pick on, I might have a slight tangent about that director's career.
Oh boy.
I'm just saying.
There were a couple directors that had very interesting careers on that list.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's why I did the list the way I did. I was trying to pick vampire movies that had directors with interesting careers to also talk about.
Okay. All right.
And, you know, things that I thought would translate well into, you could use this for Hunter Month, or you can use this for Vampire, obviously, and
right.
Yada, yada, yada.
Like
so go choose.
Whoosh.
Go off and choose. There's that. We also have the interview series. I'm currently working on lighting up an interview.
Oh.
I saw in the email.
Yeah.
An interview.
Yes. If you would like to be interviewed, whether this is you're talking about a game product that you are launching, you're a part of a gaming org, whether it's a LARP or like an actual pay troop, if you do costuming, music, things that are just related to the goth and or gaming culture, and you want to talk to us about your cool project, please hit us up at blankbodies@gmail.com.
I fucking dare you.
We would love to talk to you about your cool project.
Yeah.
I dare you.
Yeah. I keep slanging us to go do interviews because, like, I put together the interview playlist for the Blank Bodies YouTube channel. And I was like, oh, yeah, we have an interesting little smattering of people involved in the gaming community and processes.
Yeah.
And I would love to talk to more people about their cool projects.
So hit us up.
Hit us up.
Let's talk.
Hell yeah.
If you're a vampire, if your heart doth not beat, but yet you walk the night, hit me up.
Yeah.
We'll chat. We'll have a coffee. I'll have a coffee.
Which, on that note, I don't know if you've seen any of the production videos and photos that have leaked for the season 3 of Interview with the Vampire. This season actually looks like it's going to be really fun.
Yeah. I've seen a little bit. It felt very Hedwig.
Yeah, no, they specifically said they're leaning into Hedwig on purpose.
Hell yeah. Awesome.
So, hell yeah.
I'm in.
I never watched season 2, so I'm way behind.
Yeah.
Honestly, same.
Honestly, season 2, really solid.
I need to get some fucking
kind of hit
streaming
or miss,
services.
but
Yeah. I liked season 1 for what it was. Season 2 does a really good job of like building upon that in ways that you're like, hell yeah, I'm a big Daniel stan myself. If that wasn't, I feel like a gigantic read on me. And then third season is going to be like, hi, so we just really, really like Hedwig and the Angry Inch, and we're just going to do that for an entire season. And I'm just like,
Bet.
And I've seen the
Fucking
slutty
bet.
little outfits they put Sam in
Yeah.
as Lestat, and I'm like, yes. Yes. I'm just saying, you guys need to slut it up more. Anyways, we should probably escape.
All right, we're leaving.
get out of my damn recording room.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
I'll see you.
You could be sluttier.
Ew, wet.